Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And thank you so much, everyone, for your patience and understanding. I rescheduled all the calls from last week because Robert came home spontaneously, unexpectedly. I went and picked him up. So I wanted to take some time to be with him and, get settled. But now he's all good. And so thank you again for all of your love and support and blessings and healing and just all your positive vibes. Oh my goodness. So grateful. So grateful. And so is Robert. So grateful. So today we have Cathleena is with us, Cathleena Hailley. She was supposed to be here last week, but we, like I said, rescheduled. And today we're talking about uncovering your greatest potential for this life. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about about our beliefs. We're going to understand, the patterns in our life. We're going to talk about what the crystalline DNA is, what the grid system is, the difference between the old and new grid, how to access your multidimensional self. And we're going to talk about resetting of your crystalline DNA and what that will do for you. All that and so much more, of course. And for those of you who don't know, Cathleena has been with us a few times now. Anyways, it's so much fun. We love it. We love having her here on the show. It's always a positive, high vibe call with lots of transformation on the call. So Cathleena is an embodiment of the divine feminine and a life architect who works with the Council of Nine Collective and in particular with Jesus, Metatron, and other ascended masters. Her coding accesses the womb water of an individual's birth so that they are brought back to their original soul expression, creating a rebirth to allow full expression of the soul's imprint. As the lineage of the life architect, her crystalline DNA signature not only carries the frequency of perfect pitch to align to the original human template, earth template, and this universe's template, but continually recalibrates this alignment. And we'll have Cathleena talk a little bit about that as well. So Cathleena, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. We're going to be taking some live caller questions. So if you have a question for Cathleena, you can raise your hand or you can put your question in the chat. For those of you who are on the phone, it's *6, I'm pretty sure. So Cathleena, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Can you tag me on the?
Yeah, I will do that. Well, you are tagged, but you are tagged, so it should be going to your personal profile.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it there. So anyway, I was gonna open that up on here. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, it should be there, but if not, I will share it on your profile again, because sometimes we have to do that.
Yeah,
so
that would be great. Yes, well, thank you. Anyway, I'm very excited to be here. I always love your show, and again, we were talking before we went live about your husband and all that. So very excited about that and where you are, and so yeah, yay.
Exactly, yay. Yeah, we're all happy he's at home doing well. So thank you again, everybody. Thank you.
Oops, sorry. Now I have it on Facebook.
Yeah. Good.
There we go. Okay. All right.
So yeah, it's going to be another high vibe call. I know, and I know people are going to have lots of questions again as well, which is awesome.
Sure. So, where would you like me to begin?
Totally up to you. So let's talk about, the crystalline DNA, first of all, because maybe there are still some people who don't understand what that means, right? What is the crystalline DNA, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So basically we have our carbon DNA, which is, in your physical body. And then we have what's called our crystalline DNA, which is basically your soul signature. And, just to kind of give a little clarity about what, our soul is basically it's consciousness, and consciousness is information. So think about yourself as information as source. And the crystalline DNA is basically the network aspect of how this information flows to this carbon DNA. It's a communication network. And so when it's intact, so to speak, when it's clear, which is what we'll be doing, it allows for you, whatever you are, as your information, as yourself, to be dialoguing to the physical body. And then that allows you to create, because, you know, we're creator beings. And the way in which we create is through thought first, and then the thought has, quite literally, and this is what we'll be talking about today, working with the toroidal field, is about the creative process. And so the creation process is that we have a thought, and a thought literally comes out of your head like a geometric shape. So all thoughts come out as a geometric shape. When you hold it for like 14 seconds, it actually moves into what's called the unified field. And what creates the movement is the emotion that you give whatever your thought. And so the emotion is basically the fuel or the creator of your thought. So the thought is the mental aspect. The emotion is the feminine or spiritual aspect. And once you add those two together, it pushes it into the unified field. The unified field is a toroidal field that's in the heart. And this is how things are created. And, you know, having your crystalline DNA, which is you, your soul signature, being the one in charge of all that is what's the most important, because then you become the conscious creator of your own existence instead of the unconscious creator. So that's kind of the simplest way to begin to express it.
And I think we are all, you know, striving to be the conscious creators. I mean, you know, we have moments where we're pretty conscious, but there are more moments when we're not conscious of what we're creating, right? Mm-hmm. Totally normal, everybody. So it's like, you know, it's okay. So I want to talk about, you know, uncovering our greatest potential for this life. We're not talking about past lives. We're not talking about future lives. We're not talking about multidimensional lives. We're talking about this life right here and now, right?
Yeah.
And we chose to be here at this time.
Yeah, and this is a very amazing time. It's actually the most profound time, I think, in human history, because from a very large energetic level, I mean, humanity is basically coming out of this huge sort of enslavement aspect of where we've been, and that in the easiest way to say that is being unconscious creators. So we've been unconscious creators for 250,000 years or more, and so we have this opportunity now to really become conscious creators, and that's because of, and we talk about, I'll jump a little ahead because we talk about the grid system. What a grid system is, there's a grid around this earth, and it's really not necessarily around the physical earth itself, it's around this universal complex. And what a grid system is it's like a communication network, and it allows for different frequencies to communicate to whatever it's choosing. In this case, we're talking about the earth. So we have had, for a period of time, a particular grid system that cut off some of the resonance frequencies, which are pure experiences for us. Love, truth, beauty, goodness are the resonance frequencies of this earth, and the authentic range of those for a long period of time were cut off. And so, as I said a few minutes ago, that the emotion is basically the creator or the fuel of your creation. When these resonance frequencies of love, truth, beauty, and goodness were cut off, the authentic ones were cut off, what we were doing is we weren't experiencing the authentic frequencies. We're experiencing a range of them based on a collective belief of them. So whatever it means to be, whatever love is based on whatever the collective belief. And so by doing that, what we've been doing, and basically we've been having our emotions in the range of fear, because fear has been our indoctrinated frequencies from the beginning. And so we've been in what are called false frequencies. And so there's these ranges, and here's an example of kind of like a false aspect of love would be if you were somebody who were seeking a relationship and you're depressed and you're upset, and then you meet someone and you feel like I'm excited and I'm happy, you probably think that that is an authentic being excited and happy. And I'd say, no, it's not, because it's still in the range of fear. Because in order for it to be authentic, you have to be in a 0 point. You have to be in an absolute present moment awareness to have a brand new experience. Otherwise, you're simply moving from a range of depression into what you're calling happiness. And this is where humanity's been. They've been in this false range of frequencies based on fear. And so now we have this opportunity to actually have authentic ranges of emotions and frequencies, which in essence is, our entire experience. And we have that based on our authentic self as well, because now the grid system has been changed to basically the original aspect of the grid system, which allows for these frequencies to move through, so to speak, which means all the ranges are now able to you're able to connect with them. That's why we're having so much of this awakening and awareness of your multidimensional self, who you are, all these types of things. And it's interesting because when you talk about the now, we are clearing through all lifetimes. We're clearing through. So in essence, this now does encompass all lifetimes. So when you're talking about having this actual experience, you're having an actual experience. Could be for the very first time, but it's not. But first of all, time's not real, and it's also that when you're in this present moment awareness and you're in this 0 point, it's not empty. It is, you are literally within all things, but you're in an authentic range of your soul in that. So in essence, it's like an opportunity to truly create as you, with the earth and with all these, range of emotions that we're meant to do. So it's pretty incredible, actually.
Awesome. Thank you. And that's the thing. It's like, if we can tap into, our true essence, our authentic essence of who we really are, instead of what we've bought into, all the beliefs that we've bought into from other people, from ourselves, from other lifetimes, other experiences. If we can connect in and tap into who we authentically truly are, it's going to be a different experience. We're going to experience life in a much, I don't know, just different way. It's not going to be the same. And it's, I don't want to say it's going to be more expansive and love filled and blah, 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 because that's setting up expectations. But it's going to be different than what we have experienced in the past. Because in the past, it was, not real, not true, right? Not.
Yeah. Well, and I think that most of it is that you're actually going to have an experience, because this idea of what we think we've been having, there is no experience in it, because where we've been guided as humanity is always to be in the past or the future. We've never been in the now. And so, most of us, it's like, and if we do actually get present, we're still guided to be in those denser ranges of emotion, which typically what happens with people is they get present, they start to go, oh my God, now I don't know what to do. And so what we're learning is to be in that brand new, and with that very childlike, inquisitive excitement, exploration energy, which is literally, it's at that moment you're in pure possibilities and pure creation, because it's absolute pure experience. And yes, there is no thing there. It's quite literally the frequency of truth, which is, there's no thing, and all possibilities exist. So yeah, so there's no thing to compare it to. It is its own. So on a really cool note too, for anybody who's listening, who's been like, oh my gosh, I don't like my life, or I'm freaked out, or whatever. When you're in that 0 point, which is what we'll do, is we're going to take, the crystalline DNA, do a reset and all this, to bring into this. You're brand new. So it's a reset. It's like, how cool is that? I get a brand new all the time. Because that is the truth, is that we are brand new all the time, and we are in brand new experiences all the time, but we're not allowing ourselves. And when if you can just imagine that when you actually have this idea of, being in the moment, having your feet on the floor, taking a look out into the world, you're in one with all possibilities in all things, and you're brand new in the all. I mean, how cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what the possibilities are, you know, and that's what that's what we will step into, which I'll take you into, which I'm bringing you into a little bit now, into this kind of more 0 point. So if people are listening and their brains are emptying, that's okay. It's supposed to.
Good. Yeah, because that does happen when you're on the call. Because I do find my energy shifts quite a bit when we do these calls together, for sure.
Yeah, sure. That's beautiful.
So we were talking about, the truth, of who we are and the experiences all being new.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about that foundation. With that, when we allow truth to be our foundation, truth, just not our truth, but truth. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So there's an actual frequency of truth, which is, it's basically, the authentic aspect of truth is just before and just as you're being birthed from source into the dark womb. So it's a place of, like I said, no thing and all possibilities. And so it's this idea that, if you can imagine, I mean, that everything about this entire earth experience is right here. And this is what the cool thing is it's all this body, right? It's not, there really isn't anything out here. It's all here. And it's all based on my experience. And my experience is based on emotions. I mean, that's what the entire game of this earth is. We're here as consciousness, as creator beings, to experience a physicality through emotions. That's it, so it's just the range of emotions. And so that's the truth, is that there is no outcome. There's nothing preconceived. It's just about the experience. And this experience has all ranges of emotions. And these ranges of emotions as frequencies, they are information, and they are what in essence is connecting together and creating what we see as physicality. Nothing is solid, right? Everything's moving. And so if we could just imagine that within this being, when I can let go of all the things I think I know, whatever, and actually just have an authentic experience. It's not small, that's huge. Having an authentic experience is literally, I am source energy within all things, having an experience within all things. And so this is where incredible creation occurs. And so just sort of the nanosecond, whatever, or of tapping into that, you're literally like bursting out into all things. So it's not like we have to, go and figure it out. If you can imagine that these are pathways of energies and frequencies. And so when you're able to do this, feel it, you're literally creating like your entire existence in a moment. The reason that it doesn't seem to occur in your physical life is because we stop that, and we go into something that we're guided and told to do. So the actual, why the truth, the idea of truth, frequency, and being in that authentic moment is important, is because it's literally the place where everything you ever desire it's happening. It's not just, we're taught that it's like a thought. No, I got this thought and okay, sure, great, but I still got to go and forget that and go do things. But that isn't how it works. We're energy, we're frequency. And when I'm talking about when we're in the all, that's quite literally the all. So it's not like a tiny one little second that we think of in human thinking, right? It's literally that you're connected with everything in a way that the creation is going, it's happening. So imagine it like, you know, the egg and the sperm, that happened. Once that happened, it's going to continue to go. That's exactly what I'm saying. When you're stepping into that 0 point, you make that happen, it's going to continue to go. Okay, the only reason it doesn't, if it is because you pull your consciousness into some limited belief through past or future. You see what I mean? That's why I keep trying to describe it. It's like, and how simple. So we've been kind of duped as humanity to not have authentic experiences, to not actually let ourselves be brand new and actually have an experience. Right? That's how profound that is.
Wow. It's like it's and some of it is like it's so hard to wrap your head around it, you know?
Yeah. It's only hard because we have all the story. I mean, if we could really, you know, I always say this is super easy and super hard at the same time, only because it's really easy in the sense that, what am I really saying? That I get to just open my eyes and have an experience, and whatever it is. And why don't I? Because I've got all this story. Oh, I can't do that because of this, and I can't do that because of this, because I have to do it this way, and I have to do it that way, because we've been guided into all this stuff, what we're told. And all I'm saying to you is that if we had that imagination, because why don't we? Right? I am me. I'm right here. I'm by myself. I'm, you know, I mean, I happen to be communicating, right? But if you're in the privacy of your own home, your own head, watch what happens. We're by ourselves in our own head, and yet we're still dialoguing all these things we have to do. Well, what if we just didn't? What if we pause that? Because what do I have to lose? You know, because we keep thinking we have something to lose because we've been guided to continually play the game, right? But if we want to change the game and actually create, all we have to do is stop connecting with all that within here, okay? Because see, here's the biggest dupe, right? Is we've been convinced to have something happen what we think is out here and react to that in here, right? But how we create is whatever this is vibrating at is what shows up out there in my life. And this is why this 0 point is so important, is because I am, this body, this energy is the creator of whatever occurs in what I think is my physical life, 100%. And that's what I'm trying to describe, is that it's extremely powerful when we're at that 0 point, because it's not just what you've been duped into thinking, that it's a little tiny moment. No, you are literally one. You are in an infinity loop of all that exists. We are literally connected to 100% source, to all of the all universes, everything in this now moment. And we can do that because we have all the ability. It's right here. This is the millionaire. This is the relationship. This is everything you desire is right here, because this entire earth experience is based on emotions. That's how everything is created. And what we've been duped into is creating only a very small, dense range of emotions. As a matter of fact, we've been duped into having fear as our base, and then duped into creating sacrifice, imprisonment, enslavement. These are the frequencies that we've been reproducing over and over again. And how are we doing it? We're hiding ourselves. We're enslaving ourselves. We're imprisoning ourselves based on limited beliefs. What I think I can do. And then we're creating. We're not creating. We're thinking we're creating based on somebody else, based on decisions we think we can do, which means it's already in existence. So there's no creating even going on. So what I'm saying is, if we just let those things play out, and if we could just imagine how profound it is being in this now moment and just letting yourself actually feel. It's like literally there are pathways of energies and frequencies. If you imagine the privacy of your own home, in your own head, and you let yourself be in that now moment, in that beautiful, inquisitive excitement and joy, there's these pathways shooting out your head, shooting out your energy that are all connected to all whatever it is that you are in that energy and desiring across the entire planet. And they have to come to you by how universal law works in terms of matching frequencies. And this is what we're not recognizing. And so think about how, that's why I say it's really simple if we just could let go, right? But that's the hard part, is we find that difficult. And so what I say to people is, because we're inundated right now with a lot of energies and frequencies that do not want humanity to be conscious creators, do not want us to really be in that now moment. So there's all this stuff going on, right? So we just have to let that play out. So it's not trying to stop it, change it, whatever, because that's what I said before. If we try to stop it, change it, we're still in the range of fear, right? So how do we get out of it? We just let it play out. Fear is a chaos frequency, so it's going to be chaotic. And just let it play out. Let the stories play out. Because think about it, you're just by yourself. What if we do that? Watch how often we do it alone.
Yeah.
You know? Right? That's why I say it seems a lot, but it's actually it's very simple but very challenging at the same time.
So if we want to change something in our reality, right? So let's say, I'm not going to pick my husband because it's like that. I've talked about him way too much. But let's say I want to change something physically in my body, right? I need to be at a frequency of health or well-being of that, whatever it is that's happening. And go ahead.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting thing about that, and this is a little different from where I would have.
Oh, I was trying to choose a simple example.
Yeah. Well, Well, it is a simple example, but we have, because of the way that we have been indoctrinated with fear as our base frequency. And we have had all these emotions in this range of fear. What we've created is a matrix. It's like a mind matrix in the mind. It's these pentagonal shaped boxes, these little pentagonal shaped boxes. So what we've done is the design of us, okay, is that how we're meant to be is we take this consciousness, which is your soul, you, we download it into the physical brain. So we are the software. The brain is like the hardware, right? We download it in the physical brain, and then that communicates with the body and then creates out into the world. This is the design. But that's not what we've been doing. So what we've been doing is we've been taking this giant consciousness and we're sitting it in these little boxes that have been created. What's made the sides of the boxes are all of the belief systems of the collective based on what we believe love is, truth is, beauty, goodness, all these things, right? So we've created these little boxes. And so we're taking this giant library of consciousness, which is you, and we're sitting them in these little boxes that don't even communicate with each other. And so a box might be how I identify relationships, or how I identify my body, or how I identify, a career. And they're separate, and they have limited beliefs based on your belief system. Because what we're doing is, it's like we've got this giant consciousness, we're sitting in these little boxes and we're being read a book. And that book is all the beliefs, all the belief systems we've been told. And we're taking those belief systems, we're dialoguing those into the body. So this is why the body's in whatever it's in. So the first thing, if you want to shift things within your body, is we have to come into the zero, okay? Everything's about coming into the zero first, because we need to allow for these frequencies to leave. The bigger reason why is because we talk about the ascension process is the physical body, because we are fifth dimensional or higher beings. We are not third dimensional beings, we are fifth, but the body is vibrating at these lower dimensional rates. And the body is vibrating at these belief system rates, right? So getting into the zero is where we can release those. As we release those, we have our signature now dialoguing to the body. And that is where perfect health, because our given is perfect health, but we've been unintentionally creating sickness. And this is what I say is everything's backwards in human existence, because it's not like we have to fix it. We have to stop creating it. It's actually harder to hold disease in the body than it is to release it, because you're actually holding a frequency that's moving and you're keeping it in a place of density, right? So it's the number one thing is that's why we do a reset. We're doing the reset of crystalline DNA, or we're doing, this whole idea of truth. It's really allowing ourselves to be at neutral so that we can understand what we've been matching. Let's talk about that just for a second, because all we're doing as consciousness as energy, right, exchanges information with other information. That's all it does. It does a matching and exchanges information. So our entire existence, from an energy perspective, is simply about matching frequencies in order to be comfortable. And so to make that real simple, imagine, in terms of frequencies being ranges of emotion. And by universal law, faster, higher frequencies always try to raise slower ones up to match them, right? So imagine that you and I come around each other, and I'm happy and you're mad. What's going to happen is my happy is going to give your mad a bump. It's going to try to raise it because it's about matching, right? So as long as I maintain my happy, you only have two choices. You either get happy with me or you go away, right? Because how many times have we been around somebody, you're happy, they're mad, they're not happy till you're mad, because it's about matching. Yeah. So this idea of health, right, is when we get to zero, when we're present and we're excited, whatever, we can start to then experience what I have been experiencing and what frequencies and energies I've got around me, because everything is frequency and energy. Your chair, your clothes, your people, everything, right? And so this is the idea, is that you may not know that you could be wearing a particular color that's keeping, an allergy or a sickness or whatever within your body, because it's matching a particular frequency. There's just, many things. And how do we begin to discover this is when we're in that actual experience. When we are truly experiencing, wow, that's interesting. And what you do is you become the conscious observer, and you do it with curiosity. You begin to say, what am I experiencing? Mm-hmm. Instead of always defining it. Right. Because that's what we've been duped into doing, right? Giving it a definition.
Right? Yeah, good. Sounds good. Okay, so you want to take some questions?
Sure.
All right, so let me see. Julie's had her hand raised for quite a while. Julie's iPhone.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, I guess I'm not sure exactly what question to ask. Do I want to ask, what is my crystalline DNA, or what is my soul's purpose?
Something specific. If you raised your hand, you must have some question niggling in the back of your mind somewhere.
I have so many questions. I guess that's the problem. I guess what can I to the 0 point? I don't, I come out of it and I don't feel like, okay, I had a very meditative, calm state, but I don't know that I feel like I experienced, what she was talking about. So is there something that I do differently maybe when I try to go to the 0 point?
Yes, you have to let go of the mind. So, because I don't think that you're actually experiencing 0 point. So what the now moment is when we can let go of the mind. So I would practice, I actually have a practice that I use that somebody else had given to me this, where I say I ask and intend to create a sacred space, because it's not about protection. And I say, and I ask to release all distracting thoughts, distracting energies, distracting information. So you're beginning to clear, and we actually have 3 mind channels, and I actually clear the mind channels, and you can clear, only there's like a shorter one that you can align to, the new grid, the organic grid. And then there's another one you can align to the center of the Milky Way, and the third one aligned to pure source. And so there's like a clearing of these mind channels. And you can do that, but I would say for you, which I'm feeling right away, is even more simple, which is to simply, let yourself start to pay attention to this. Even now you're really listening, and I can feel it. And so it's very mental energy, because you want to get it. And why do we want to get it? Because we feel something is broken and I'm not getting it right. And so that's all part of the game, right? And so the idea is to start to observe myself being the person that feels like I don't know how to do something. Which, if you think about what are we really saying? We're saying, let go, just let go. Have it, have nothing, no thing, because the 0 point is no thing and all possibilities. It's literally allowing myself to have no thing, nothing, no thing. Being in the no, and so the practice is to start to take charge of your mind and start to notice. And I always say to people, like, you wouldn't just let somebody come in your home and kick your dog and do whatever. So why do I let all this in my mind? And begin to pay attention to what is the chatter in there? What's going on? Why am I letting this repeat? Why am I allowing this dialogue? It says, I don't know. What if I just say, okay, well, maybe I don't know. Who cares? All right. Well, how am I going to know? How I'm going to have an experience? All right. What is an experience? I don't know. Maybe I've never had one. Oh. And be that really got to be very childlike, very like a little kid. Like, imagine this is the first time that you've ever been, on the planet. And I actually suggest too, you can practice first times. And like how you can do a first time is you can say you're getting ready to come to your home. And you're driving up towards your home, and you kind of have to work yourself up to it. We have to start to say to yourself, I'm curious. I wonder what this place is going to be like. And, I've never been here before, and just kind of really talk to yourself a little bit. And then as you drive up, you have like an instant to be aware of what it feels like or looks like or whatever. There's something that occurs very quickly when you come near your home. And this is like the energy and frequency of whatever is you're connected to. And it's part of the thing that's pulling you out of the now moment all the time. Okay. So it's beginning to just become aware of what is taking me out, because our natural is the 0 point. So we're being pulled out of these things all the time. We're being pulled out of pure experience. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah. It's not of the mind, right?
Yeah, great question. And the thing is, it's also about, not having any expectations. Like, the experience is going to be brand new. You have no idea what it's going to be at all. It's like no expectations.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And with our mind, we set ourselves up ahead of time. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. And that's what we expect. And when we don't get that, then we think, oh, I've done something wrong. I'm not meditating properly. Yeah. I'm not connecting properly or whatever,
Well, that's how the Matrix has gotten everyone, is through language, right? Through that whole dialoguing, saying, because language is like the worst communication. You guys are all telepathic and nobody just recognizes it. And we listen and go, how do I do it? Go, well, you're picking up stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that you're being guided to repeat the same things over and over again because you think you don't have it. What I want you to start to do is imagine, I absolutely have it. I just don't know what it is, but I have it. I have everything. I'm absolutely telepathic. You just begin to tell yourself these things and go, okay, but now I need to experience what it is. So, okay, I wonder what it is. Mm-hmm. And just begin to have experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Linda. You had your hand raised for a while.
Hello. It's so nice to see you back, and I'm so glad Robert's home.
Thank you.
You know that, honey.
I will have him come on one of these shows one of these
Oh,
times,
good.
but usually he's at this time he gets tired and so he's asleep. But yeah.
Get on a Wednesday, okay? I'm busy
Okay.
on okay. Sorry. But I want to meet him, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Cathleena?
Hi.
Hi. My question is, once we reach 0 point, how can we recreate our ability to get back to normal, like take off all the masks, have people hugging again and making, having family gatherings again, and bring about a better community so that everyone feels loved and protected?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's with that, it's individual. First of all, well, you have to understand that, I'll say it this way. Okay, so we start with ourselves and doing it, but you're never just you. Okay, because what am I saying? We are in the all. We are the all. Okay, I am source and I am source light. And so when I am in this 0 point, I am all and one with all. So it's not this idea that I'm little me and that I'm just going to do this by myself, and then we have to figure this out from outside there. That's not what happens in terms of energy. So when you want to create like a world that you're seeking, you want to embody it. You want to feel it. You want to live it. You want to express it. You want to partake. You want to be that. And it's all about, remember, everything is about frequencies and energy. So we have to watch. Am I in the frequency of fear and doubt and, oh my gosh, I got to fix and something's broken, and in that energy I feel like I've got my heart open and I really want to take care of people, and I really see that's still in the range of fear, which is the indoctrinated fear. And this is where it gets a little tricky, because if I really am in a place that I truly have my heart open and I truly desire humanity to feel love and be loved, I am that. And so when I am that, and I'm in the now, like this is what I am to you. I am radiating. I am pure source light. I am pure source love. I am pure source truth, representing, kind of being in this energy and frequency, and sort of almost like an aspect, yeah, somebody's phone, an aspect of representation, in it. And so this is how this begins to be created, because you have to understand that it's not a natural for humanity to be in fear, to do all these types of things. This is something that a consciousness that's been on this planet for eons of time has brought, and is amping up in this time with all of this, through this whole thing. So we have to find our truth in it. But what is the frequency of truth? The frequency of truth is the now moment in pure experience. So, do you understand what I'm trying to bring you? So the way to do this is to be in pure experience with or through the heart, as your true conscious self, as your awareness, as yourself, as source. So the goal that we are doing in this wake up is to recognize that there isn't one thing about yourself that isn't wonderful, and there isn't one thing about any of this that isn't, because it's all source energy, first and foremost. So there's nothing broken, nothing that needs to be fixed. It simply is experiences. And as we continue to just simply allow those to move, we naturally begin to recognize that I'm in that place of the 0 point in that place of pure love and pure light. And that is what I'm radiating. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's really important. Well, here's the thing. If we have any thought that says, oh my gosh, I can't, I have to get my family to, I'm in the frequency of fear. Okay. So if instead I know that I'm source energy and I'm source love, and I'm radiating that source light and that source love, what I'm in essence doing is I'm giving opportunity for all those that I love to feel it, to express it, because I'm matching, right? Remember, it's about matching frequencies. So I am in this vibration. I am one with this vibration. Now holding that light, letting humanity have an opportunity to match it, to feel it, to express it. And how they do it is they just feel themselves and begin to release out all that is not them.
So how do we maintain that frequency long enough to keep the radiation going to affect more people?
Okay, you are that frequency. So it's not a thing you do, because 0 point is an infinity loop of all. So again, this is just a mind game that happens to humanity, because we're under this idea that time is linear, time is circular.
Right.
So it's not a little thing. So all you have to do is let go. That's the maintaining.
Okay.
And the other people get to choose whether they're going to match your frequency or not.
Yes, and so the idea is, that's why I say, is that the way to do it is to simply keep letting go and having fun and being in a joyous, inquisitive, exploratory way. That's it. That's the way to maintain, right? Just keep having wonderful experiences. That's why I say is this is like, it's so simple, but so hard. And just think about how crazy that is. So we don't do that, right? Because we're like, no, there's something wrong with that, because that's not how to do it, right? But that's the frequency, that's source, you see, right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much, both of you.
Good, thank you, Linda.
Wonderful.
All right, let's see. I know MC has her hand raised, but I think there was another question from Jackie in the chat. And Jackie says, I want to be free of my fear. Is it more than affirming I'm more than qualified, empowered? I know ideas and solutions come into my mind when I need them. Sounds like must come from the place of the 0 point. Yeah, it's not about affirmations, right?
No, free of fear is simply let go of it. Fear is a chaos frequency. It means it's like bouncing all over the place. I use an example of like an authentic frequencies. Imagine like those little spinning tops, those little dreidel that the Jewish, kids would play. And so if you spin that, it's going to spin and spin and spin and spin. That's an authentic frequency, right? But if you took something like that and it were not perfectly balanced and you go to spin it, it's going to wobble and stop. And the only way it's going to continue is if you can continue it. That's fear. Okay, that's why the old adage is there's nothing to fear but fear itself, because it's not authentic and you can't change it and stop it. You just have to simply allow it to play, to just let it be around you. Just let it, because it's not an authentic frequency. What we're doing is we're grabbing it, we're matching it, and again, so if it's brand new, there is no fear, because there is no judgment, because there is no experience, because it's brand new, which is what we keep going back to, and it's just that fear is just indoctrinated with us. We've been given a million ways, but if you can just recognize your source, we are source. We are this energy. This is who we are. We are this aspect of source. So there is no fear. Is not authentic. There is nothing to fear. It isn't an authentic frequency. But and what happens is it becomes debilitating, because let's just break it down simple, okay? You can have things in your life. You could have, like, you thinking literal, I don't know how I'm going to get my money, or I don't know how I'm going to do this, or I don't know how I'm going to do that. Okay, they can be things that you have in your physical life, right? But when you're by yourself, in your home, in your head, okay, you have a choice of going into a place of panic, freaked out, blah, 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 about that, or a place of surrender, letting go in the now moment, and having an actual experience. What I'm trying to describe to you is, if you actually let go and just let whatever the experience play out, you allow yourself to be in the divine 0 point, that is going to give you a brand new experience of it all. There is an unwinding that's going to take place as this stuff begins to come out. But if you're in the place of curiosity, as that very childlike, inquisitive, curious, even with something in your body, I see someone talking about menopause, even with menopause, even with anything, if you're in a childlike curiosity of it, you will begin to understand what the energies and frequencies it's matching, instead of becoming it. What happens is we become it. And we have a choice about that. We are consciousness. What are we doing? We're matching frequencies. We're choosing to match those frequencies. And we think we don't have choices because we're thinking it, because we've been duped into these boxes in our mind. But we do.
We always have choice, but we've forgotten that we are not, that we've forgotten that we are source, and not just this limitation that we are experiencing.
Yes, that's why I keep saying it is simple, and everybody's, oh, it's not that simple. It truly is, if you can just be right here, this.
Mm-hmm.
This.
Mm-hmm. Jackie, I'm not really sure what you wrote. It says, yes, that is helpful, thank you. And then the next part doesn't make sense. Ease as letting go of the thoughts that cause the fear. Easy as letting go, or maybe it's easy as letting go of the thoughts that cause the fear.
Hey,
Right.
Laura.
Hey, Jackie.
Good to see you. I feel more ease as I'm letting go of the thoughts that are causing the fear.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
good.
Yeah. So if it's being that simple, I've been suffering for 2 months for no reason, but
well, that join the party. That's it. Yeah, that's why I say it is very simple and very complicated at the same time. But yes, fantastic.
Well, thank you both. I need to drop and go back to work, but
All right.
I'll definitely listen to the replay. Thank you.
Good to hear from you, Jackie. Glad you're here. Thank you.
See you.
All right, MC, you want to unmute yourself? There you go. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
I'm curious what your take, Cathleena, is on just even being on the call. I'm having a lot of sensations heavy in my heart and my head and down in my sacral area. How, when I feel these, what would be your guidance on what to do? Like, I don't even know if they're mine, the collective, a positive higher vibration coming in, moving density out. It's I feel confused about what's actually happening, and do I just observe? I don't know what to do with it. And I have a lot of sensations throughout every day, and often uncomfortable in the body. And I'm just curious what you would say to do.
Yeah.
Do or not do.
Yeah. Well, Well, so the ascension process is the body releasing. So what I would do, and what I do, is I become curious, and I would become curious of it, and be like, and what you want to do is you want to talk to yourself like you're another person, and begin to say, and I will say that, I was like, Cathleena, what are you feeling? What is this? What is this really about? And as you begin to do that, because you're sitting in a neutrality, you're really in the 0 point, because you are your higher self, asking that to yourself. instead of becoming it. Because this is all what happens is we become it, and it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like crap. I feel that. That's me becoming it. And then you're little you and you're wrapped in it, and it's very difficult to figure out what it is. So, but if we instead be very childlike, inquisitive, curious, and begin to say, this is curious. Well, this is curious, that, wow, so I have these symptoms, and, does it come on all of a sudden? Did I have a certain thought, what, this is interesting. It will begin to unfold for you, and it will begin to tell you where this is coming from. And sometimes you will recognize that it is a collective that's come in, or it's another lifetime, or it's connected to, something in your room, or, somebody spoke something to you and it connected. It depends on with you. I can feel with you, you're extremely intuitive, and there's a lot going on in your energy. Actually, I can feel a lot happening with you. And it's definitely pulling into your whole body because of all the above. You're clearing. So I don't know. I can look at why you're doing it, but you're pulling it in, and you're trying to clear it through your central channel. I think because that's how you're familiar with doing it. I think you in your lifetime have been the one who took charge, and is the one who takes care of things, and maybe even in your home, in your childhood, those types of things. And so that you're doing that. So you're bringing it in to clear it. And it is from other people. It's also from your life, things in your life, and from, I can feel, collective as well. But you're choosing to pull it into your body in that way. And so you can certainly shift that. You can shift the way that you're doing it. If you want to do a private session, sometime we can go into this much deeper, because I can look at your whole process. I'm looking at your process right now.
I do want to do a private.
Yeah. It would be, yeah. Because I can tell what you're doing. There's a lot happening.
Okay.
I'm clearing it for you now. I'm actually moving the direction for you, so you're not going to feel as much. It's going to start dissipating out your body as you start.
I feel that.
Yeah. Because I just turned it the other direction for you.
Okay. And then when you do a process on someone, you say that it holds as long as you don't bring it back in. And so say you bring it back in, do you replay the private session and then it resets again, or?
Yes, well, certainly you can do it that way as well. And yes, and then it's a practice, we are having this experience, and we do have a lot of interference. There's a tremendous amount of technologies that are in play that are purposely recreating these, loops of fear and so on all the time. So just know that. And again, that's why we have to, let go of the judgment. This is what's really huge too, is it's being in that 0 point with no judgment. It's being in absolute, pure presence. And so the more that we let go of the judgment and we just go, oh, wow, okay, I'm experiencing this, because there's layers, there's layers upon layers of things in our energy and in our lives and so on, that are connected to these frequencies on many, many different levels. So it's not necessarily that you bring back what you had before, but you may be still in that range of frequency that is being cleared, through many, many different lifetimes in many different ways. And so yes, if you're choosing to bring it in, then I'd say, you want to look at that and how it's serving you in some way. And once you decide that, is it really serving you? That's when you actually match it to a point to neutralize it, and then it'll shift to something else.
Great. Thank you, Cathleena. Thank you, Alara.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. All right. So we're going to go to Caroline had a question in the chat. We'll start with the first one. And she's saying perfect health being at 0 point, is that no menopause, no disease, no monthly pain, or is pain and disease inevitable when we are humans?
No, it is not inevitable at all. And it's not part of our general experience. It's something that we are aligning to because of frequencies and energies that we've been connected to. So, and these are collective. There's a lot of collective. So, is menopause part of the actual? I don't think necessarily. I think it's part of the false matrix that's wanting to, because through the endocrine system is a tremendous amount of emotional experiences, as well as through the central and peripheral nervous system. So it makes sense that these would be interfered with. But we've been having these for many periods, very long periods of time. So these are very, very indoctrinated collective belief systems. And so we've been aligning to them. So we may need some kind of, physical intervention. I do hormonal replacement, and to some degrees, to smaller amounts, and particularly depending on the level of frequencies and whatever that happened. So there's kind of a balancing aspect of what's going on with this chemical aspect of the body based on the frequencies that the planet, because, we are the micro of the macro of the planet, and so on. And so all the different things that have gone on the planet is also affecting us. We're also affecting them. We're over 70% water. The planet's over 70% water. The toxins in the water on the planet are the toxins within our body. So there's a lot of energies and frequencies. So the idea is keep emphasizing 0 point with no judgment. So when we don't align to something as, a problem or as pain itself is not real. Pain at the receptor site actually is a choice between a contraction or a relaxation response. It becomes something that we have experiences because it's an indication of discordance, of something that is not in alignment with me. And it just depends on the level of the experience. So it's all energy and frequency. And if we can just really recognize, again, it's all right here. And if I can be the observer, if I can be curious as to why I'm having these experiences, I'll have a understanding from an energetic perspective of what I'm aligning to, what I'm creating. And I can simply allow those things to shift and change. And some of these things are things we chose to have as actual experiences based on my soul and what I wanted to experience to either share with somebody else or whatever. It depends on, your own soul path.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Good. Thank you. Angela says, can we reach 0 point and take longer than the nanosecond? The mind races so fast, or do we deal with the fear first, especially if we are not into affirmations? My mind is like a freight train.
Yeah. Well, okay. So again, 0 point is not a place. That's what's so hard to put this in words. Remember, it's the no thing and all possibilities. So all it is this idea of me being me, just allowing myself to be me, of wherever I am. It's authentically me. That's it. When you are authentically you, whatever it is, whether I'm crying, I'm yelling, it doesn't matter. If I'm authentically me, that is the idea of the 0 point. So there's no time in association with that. It's just very hard to dialogue these things that are really outside of the linear comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that makes sense.
Hopefully that makes sense, Angela. Yeah. All right, Faye, do you want to unmute yourself, Faye?
Hi, Linda. Thank you so much. I'm resonating with everything that you're saying, and I'm so grateful. I always knew there's more to life, and with all these types of energy and just frequency talks, I see where it was at. My question is the following. I feel like what you're talking about now happening, and I have a 15-year-old daughter who I feel is definitely either my inner child or just, I don't know, part of my journey in a big way of, connecting resonance and just healing. And she's really feeling this, like, the suppressed emotions, like starting to like just come out. And she's having a hard time, just like she feels really like weak and has a hard time just having an appetite and nourishing herself. And I know it's a process and it's on the way out, but I'm just wondering if you can guide us a little bit about how to get over I guess that part of the journey part.
And what, can you be a little more specific of what you're asking?
So this is, I guess, to get from point A to point B, from being, I guess, originally operating in the fear, shame kind of frequency, and then you're trying to arrive at the authentic and the expansive and the present, that whole.
So the process, and so maybe this will be helpful. This idea, and we'll keep talking about 0 point, is not a place we find when we are actually real with ourselves. We are in essence in the 0 point. And so it's a matter of allowing ourselves permission to truly be honest, to truly feel, to truly be real with yourself about whatever it is that you're experiencing and feeling, allowing it to simply play out without giving it a huge story that is, I'm trapped, I'm stuck, I'm blah, 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 blah. Just simply having an awareness that, oh, wow, there's an emotion that's come here. What is it that I'm feeling? Oh, and just simply allowing it instead of attaching it to this giant story that's like outside of myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. The question is, if you've been, so to speak, either a weekend or just, I guess, you're in a certain place, then to kind of move to that healthier spot takes time, I think. I mean, you're always in the 0 point, but still, I guess it might be a process. And I'm just wondering, do you just allow it and then, just the give? Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that might be helpful. So here's kind of the process. So you have to imagine that when you are able to be in the now moment, most likely you're going to be have this feeling of very young, which means I may not have any tools that I feel that I possess when I'm in this now moment, and everything kind of bombards me because we're not ever taught to be there. So being an observation of yourself, you want to imagine being like what I would call the perfect parent to you in that moment. So what the perfect parent would be to simply hold space for this child to have whatever experience that they're having. And so this is what you want to imagine allowing yourself, because we don't do that, right? We have so much judgment. This is this idea of being in this 0 point without judgment. It is simply imagining that, I am, because we're source. So it's imagining that there's two of you, and there's the one who's going to simply hold space for the you that is having an experience, to just have. And if you can have that in the now moment, that this is all going on inside of me, because it is. It's literally within you. It's within your own thought processes, within your own self. It has nothing to do with the outside world, right? Then we can simply allow it, because we don't allow it. We're constantly monitoring and changing, because there's some belief system that says I have to always keep my mind on this, or I have to always be in this direction. It's that fight or flight going on all the time, and it's that survival mode thing going on all the time. And in order to pause those two, we have to simply allow that to play out within ourselves, right? In the recognition that I'm okay. I'm right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does.
And it's a practice, right? Because that's why I keep saying it sounds so simple. We go, yeah. But then it's like, but it's so hard. It's only hard because we've got so much dialoguing that we think that there's like, this outside world is this moving train that I got to like grab and hold all the time. And it's not really that way. That's how we've been taught to believe that. But the real truth is that everything that's moving is inside me. I have all control over that.
So would the way be to get off that train?
What'd you say?
To get off that train?
Yeah, to get off the train is simply allow it. Just allow it to play out. Just whatever. So if I say like literal, say like I don't know where my money's coming from. Well, I can go, oh my God, I don't know where my money's coming from, and go in this panic and search and freak and do what in my brain. Or I can simply be in the now going, well, I don't know where this is coming from at this moment. But I'm actually going to just, let go and be in actual experience. Because, if you think about it, when we begin in life, this is really how it would work. If we weren't told all this stuff, we would be brand new, and we would be experiencing, we would be connecting to land, we would be feeling these emotions and experiences. This is how it works. We would be doing that. We're not doing that because we've been, given everything from everybody else, and we're energy and frequency. And so we're not just given the literal from the words, we're picking this up on all these other energetic levels. So you're picking up all the generational fear and all this crap, and you don't know you're doing that. So what we're learning now is to just be in the observation of it and letting it kind of unwind and start to notice, like, oh, look, this is what I've been aligning to. And it's not hiding and running away. It's expressing my own energy.
That's beautiful. Thank you for actually saying that, because she was feeling like it was generational, and I'm feeling that too.
Sure.
So I'm just like, I was telling her, like, give it back. And, like, is that a method? Like, give it back to whoever's it was, like, she knows where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And kind of open up to experiencing something new.
Yes, absolutely. And you can clear that, and you may want to have a private session with this too. I do work parent and child to clear this through generational, because there's just a lot of, when you're talking about the energies, right? Remember, the body is what is ascending, which I said before, we're not. And so when we come into this lifetime and we're our consciousness, right? So our consciousness has kind of with it all of these other energies and frequencies of lifetimes and so on, things that it wants to experience. And so it's coming into a third dimensional reality that begins to become like a giant magnet for everything. And a lot of those magnets are many lifetimes, many different agreements, contracts, all kinds of things that we've done that we don't recognize, that we have agreed to. There's just a lot of things. And so that's why the easiest way is to be in the now moment in pure experience, to begin to see what am I aligning to? What have I? The story will be told to you, but if it's something that seems to be more challenging, is one of the reasons I'm here. But there's many people that are here to do this kind of thing as way showers and sort of helpers to clear a lot of this, hold that space to allow for a lot more to move much more rapidly. That's kind of what I do in private sector.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you, Faye.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one last question from Pat. Pat, do you want to unmute yourself? Oh, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
So,
What's
Okay,
your question, Pat?
the question is, am I aligning to new frequencies? Physically, I'm feeling very off balance and lightheaded when I walk. And I try to stay grounded with Mother Earth and call in my angelic team and so on.
and you're feeling very dizzy when you walk, yes?
Not dizzy, lightheaded.
Yeah. I feel like there's just huge expansion. Yeah, but it's just because your head's like a big bubble, because you got a tremendous amount of energies that are around here, and
That's what I'm feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big bubble because there's too much control going on in your body. It's like there's still fear
Yeah.
of maybe I do it wrong, or fear. There's also a fear that of bringing anything in that would be harmful or any of that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
what you're unintentionally doing is you're narrowing down your body, and you got
Okay.
like a big bubble head, so it's making it kind of off balance and so on. And that's another interesting thing, right? It's like I'm open and I'm doing, but I'm fearful. So I'm looking at your body, and the body's like this. So it's about trusting, look, if I'm source, there's nothing to fear.
Right.
This is the whole thing, is recognizing we're source.
Yes.
There is no fear. So, and it can't, and there is there's no thing in your life that you aren't bringing in. And it doesn't mean we have to always keep it depending on what it is, but every experience you are aligning to. And so when people talk about things that they don't want or things that change or whatever, get to the zero. And in that now moment, you begin to ask, okay, out of curiosity, like, what is this really about? And maybe it, maybe a karma, maybe whatever, but it may come into a place of a sense of awareness and balance, right?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. Good. Thank you, Pat. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yes. Hopefully that's helpful. These are very hard to dialogue, which is why it's a lot easier just to move in the energy and shift things.
Yeah.
Language is the worst communication, because I can say a word, but how you hear it is how you hear it.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about the package in a second, but I want to ask you just really quickly, because the package, includes a private session with you, right? And so we've talked a little bit about with Faye and MC about getting a private session with you, but what is that like, and what can people expect to experience?
Sure. Well, I see what's called the human template, and this human template is basically kind of like it's a blueprint sort of design of the human body. It doesn't really look like the arms and legs and all that, but it's the potential of the physical experience. And so when I step into energy, and as a frequency alchemist, and this idea of perfect pitch, that is how I incarnated, is that my energy actually carries with it the 0 point of all frequencies. So just stepping into my energy, you begin to come into a calibration. So this is what's been occurring with all of you, and why the mind is kind of going kind of strong for a lot of people. So when in private session, I go into deeper with that, and then I see like your template and where you are. And so whatever is not in your highest and best is very present, and begins to move, we begin to shift that. And then energies that are meant for you will also come in. And so it's everything from, like I said, lifetimes, lineage, implants, contracts, many different things that occurs on many multidimensional levels that are changed and shift and happen.
Awesome. Good. So MC said, just book my private. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I want to take just take a few moments to talk about the special offer, and then do we still have time to do a quick activation? I know you've been working on us throughout the call, because there have been times, I don't know if you noticed my face kind of like,
Yes,
fading a little bit. I'm not tired, but I'm like kind of like out a little bit,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'll take you in a bit deeper though. I will do a little bit with you.
Okay,
yes.
cool. So the special offer is available at alara.at/show/Cathleena3. And again, this is a new package. Cathleena, so you want to walk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, this is actually the third one in the toroidal field series, and then because we had done the first two, so this is actually to clear the toroidal field, which is it's within our heart, and it's the unified field. The unified field is where all things show up. So the first one was the mental, then there was the spiritual, and this is the physical. And so this is just clearing basically choices that you have used for your for things to come into the physical world. It's a type of clearing through the 5 classes. They're pre-recorded classes, but they're always in the now time. They're always in the 0 point time. So no matter when you listen to them, it's now time. And what they'll be doing is clearing that physical aspect of the field. So basically, an energetic connection to limited choices of things that you've picked repetitively. It's clearing that energetically from your.
So just as an example, so for example, Caroline was talking about the menopause. It would help with the menopause those types of things. Or if I have a pain in my body, something that I've, have had for a while now. So it's like, even though it's getting much better, but obviously I keep choosing it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's it will, but that's not directly what it is. Is this particular course is about clearing the field of kind of choices. The total field, being the unified field, is where it's full of frequencies, and these are all basically the frequencies you've aligned to. So,
Right.
so yes, because it is clearing the physical choices on a bigger level, the emotional aspect of them. So yes, will it help? I mean, it can be a direct fix, but it isn't exactly like that. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's I know that there's the 5 pre-recorded classes, and then in package B is also the 1-hour private session with you. And the private session with you could be about anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. When you show up, you just tell me what it is that you're interested in, and I will, we work with that, and of course, whatever comes forward as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
and
again,
I think the other 2 are already on your site as well. Are you still have the other 2? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I do think if people haven't had the whole series, it would benefit them to do 1 and 2 with this 33 as well.
Okay, perfect. I'll add those links to the emails, etc., just so that they have it there as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So again, this package is available. Both package A and package B are available at alara.at/show/Cathleena3. All right. So yes, let's do the activation.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit deeper. We've been going already in the call, but let's go deeper.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling a tremendous amount happening. Okay, so if everybody wants to just get comfortable, and you can close your eyes, we'll start taking some nice deep breaths. I am doing toning, so you might hear some sounds. So just kind of go with it. I'm already feeling a tremendous amount of energy coming in. Just take some nice deep breaths. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring everybody into this very divine 0 point, so you can have the actual experience of what it is. When everybody takes some nice deep breaths, I'm just clearing now through many fields. I'm clearing some collective beliefs and some of this mind matrix. I'm just going to clear out out of the mind this feeling of that I don't have the power, that I don't understand, that I can't do it. I want you to imagine little particles just floating right out of your head, like dirt, out of your hair, out of your head. Take a nice deep breath. And just allow that. This is just information. Just going to let that float right out of your head. Take a breath and just allow. There's no efforting here. I'm just going to release this frequency of hopelessness, actually. It's a frequency of hopelessness. I'm going to take that out of the entire. Taking this out of this entire collective, and we're going to take this out of all timelines associated with any of you listening to this or any future people listening to this. Just removing this frequency of hopelessness. Sophia Gaia is going to bring up a very divine crystalline energy. This is also coming through this 18th dimensional diamond collective of water. It's coming up as like a funneling system in through your body now. I'm going to clear through the crystalline structure of your body, these codes of Sophia Gaia, the crystalline core of Sophia Gaia, to bring you into a synergy of one with the earth and with this earth's ascension. Taking a deep breath. I'm going to expand you out 360 degrees, bringing you into this bubble of crystal clear diamond white light of pure, pure source. As your divine creator steps around you, with you, as above is below, as below is above. As for opening up your crown completely and your root completely, plugging you in 100% as I'm going to now step into your physical heart, spinning any of this false matrix, hopelessness, this feeling of not having control. Take a breath and spin that out as I'm going to bring you into 0 point. Just keep allowing that mental frequency to simply release out of your brain as we're coming into the still point, 0. Still a few of you, let the little particles out of your head, out of your hair, just let them float up. Breathing, I'm going to clear through a little bit more of your bodies. Just taking out a lot of this mental dialoguing. Just imagine little particles floating out of your skin, just floating out. This is this place of feeling stuck, feeling trapped. Still kind of connected a little bit to the hopeless as we're just letting that go out of your skin. Just relaxing, let go, breathe. Keep breathing and allowing, just letting this out of the skin, particularly on the chest, the body. Just little particles, just letting it go, dissipating into the field around, pure source field. We're going to do a recalibration of your entire bone structure to this very high frequency diamond white light of your Christed body. It's going to bring that frequency in. This is the highest frequency of you in physical form. So all the bone structure now in your entire body becoming crystalline. To your toes, to the fingertips, to the skull. And we're going to bring in a golden light into the sphere around you, a pure source. This golden light is you before you ever came into form. This is your soul signature. So bringing this into your field to now integrate into your mental, spiritual, physical, etheric body as it begins to integrate into your central and peripheral nervous system. Connecting with the crystalline body, Christed body. Just allowing all this. It's like a recalibration. I'm going to bring all this into the zero, into your heart. I'm going to open up your root completely through your feet. Imagine roots going downward, completely into the core of the earth as we begin to bring you back down to your body. This recalibration. Just allowing it, coming back down to the body. Deep breath and just allowing this to keep coming back. When you feel ready, open your eyes and drink some water.
I didn't want to come back. That was love. That was great. Oh my goodness. It was like, yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that was, I don't even remember all of it and I'm not fully back, but that was lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody can listen to this again too. It'll continue to recalibrate. It was a lot took place.
Yeah. Yeah. How's everybody doing? How was that for all of you? What did you experience and how are you doing now? Are you back? Are you back to functioning mode? Like I have to be back to functioning mode?
Yeah.
Wow. No, that was great. Oh my goodness. I loved it.
It's going to continue to recalibrate too. That was recalibrating on many levels.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. I mean, it's like, I feel like I could take a nap, you know?
Yeah.
I might do it again before I go to bed, just because it's like, oh, that was nice. MC said, I'm so grateful for the moving of the hopeless frequencies. Yeah, the hopelessness that you did at the beginning. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Jessica says, wow, thank you. Alan Margot says, thank you. Kate says, thank you, thank you, thank you. So it wasn't just me experiencing it. Yay. I was like totally out of it. Brenda says, I did feel that tingling in fingertips to toes. Top of head. Wow, thank you. Adelina says, thank you so much. Oh yeah, I noticed that at the beginning, I don't know what you did, but I got so cold. I vaguely remember what you did, but I got so cold. And as I'm thinking about it now, it's like, oh yeah, I was like so cold.
Yeah, the cold is because that's so much emotion. I mean, that was between you and the collective. That's what happens. You tend to get very cold very fast. My fingertips. Yeah.
Yeah. Angela says, that was really great. As you toned, I felt release from my throat, through my ear. I also got many flashbacks. At the end, I got waves coming through. Nice. Marie says, absolutely powerful and beautifully liberating. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Good. Awesome. So this is something we can do, obviously, again and again and again, if you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it was very.
And Carrie says, wonderful. The hopelessness piece was great. Thank you. Faye said, have tears and lots of sighing. Thank you so much, Cathleena and Laura, for making this happen.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. It's beautiful.
So I'm like, I was so out of it. It's like, okay, so this was a calibration, a reset of the crystalline
Well,
DNA, or what?
yeah.
What exactly was that?
Yeah, I know. This was much greater than that. Yeah. Well, the levels of where I'm working are very, beyond a linear comprehension. So that was basically like like I said, releasing the collective and everybody's frequencies of hopelessness, a tremendous amount of just resetting within the body of a lot of discordance, a whole lot of frequencies, bringing in the Christed body, and letting that recalibrate, as well as your reason for coming here. Source stepped in, so your divine creator just came forward and just really calibrated, and
Nice.
it's still going. I can feel it. It's like, it's just a huge calibration. It's beautiful because.
Yeah.
You guys are all amazing, and thank you for showing up, and we're clearing for the collective as well. So it's tremendous gratitude and love. So yeah, that was.
Kate saying, if this is the third in the series, was the first last year? I think so, because we had the second one in January, right? When you were on the show in January. So the first one must have been December, October, November. I don't remember now, but I can go back and check.
Yeah.
October. MC says October.
Yeah.
Thank you, MC.
I'm not sure the time, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so the first one was October, the second one was January, and then this is the third one in the toroidal
Toroidal series, yeah.
Series, yeah.
Yeah, this is for creation, yeah. Because we are
Good
amazing.
question, Kate.
Yeah.
Putting us on the spot, because it's like, I don't remember.
Yeah,
if you need it, Kate, send me a message and I'll send you the link for the October. It should be Cathleena 10, but I could be wrong because I remember I messed up. So it could be Cathleena 10, Cathleena 9, or Cathleena 11. Just one of those ones will work. Sorry, Cathleena, for calling you Linda before. I heard the name and somehow mixed it up. Oh, no worries.
That's okay.
Thank you for using your capacity and awareness for bettering this planet. Yeah, nice. Oh, MC says I found it on YouTube. Yes, it's on YouTube. It's also on the podcast. Yes. All right. So again, please do take a look at the packages, which are available at alara.at/show/Cathleena3. And yes, this video will be on YouTube shortly on my replay page, and the audio will be on the podcast shortly too, as well. So we can go back and listen to this again. I might, because it's like, oh my God, that was so nice and so powerful. So it is available for you to listen to, watch again and again and again. Sorry, Cathleena, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just said wonderful.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, I'm finally back to normal, I think. Is there a normal? Just more about I'm able to function, right? I can function. I can do my role. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for all your questions. I know sometimes talking about the 0 point can be a little, tricky because we can't always wrap our heads around it, right? Yeah. But wow, that experience. Marie says, first time meeting Cathleena, so happy I was guided here. She reminds me of Dr. Sue Mortar. I will look at the package for sure. Thank you both. Yeah, I can see how she looks like Dr. Sue. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who Sue Mortar is.
Yeah, I can see it. All right, everyone. So thank you again. Thank you so much, Cathleena. Another wonderful show, wonderful process. Oh my goodness. And if you do get a chance, people, to get the package B, like I said, it's a 1-hour Zoom session with Cathleena, and so much can shift and happen in that call. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So thank you. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Straight to